Welcome everyone to another episode of In the Divide. We're here, Truyou, Zachary Martinez. Have a bad habit of giving people nicknames. Zachary Martinez. I want you to pay attention to this. I want you to really understand this is one of the first innovative things that's not kind of all huddled up in DeFi. It's something that's going to be really highlighted. A matchmaking, a dating, a metaverse concept that I think people will really love coming to you from the mind of Zachary Martinez and Truyou. Good to be here. Good to have you. I would say, let's do the obligatory name and social security number, just you and the project.
Yeah, just a general overview of Truyou. Of course. So Truyou in itself is an attempt to build incentivized connection economy. So general applications nowadays typically focus around kind of the extraneous attention, I guess, that most users tend to give, which there is no real incentive to have any sort of action on the App Store outside of, hey, I find this interesting, and so I want to do this. So basically, through Truyou, we would be introducing an incentive-based mechanism so that there's more than just the interest aspect of using the Truyou application. There's also a monetary value aspect where you gain value through using the application.
So, like I said, I like the concept, and I like that it's an original concept coming to blockchain, because I think blockchain should be trying to marry the traditional space and what some of the strength of the blockchain is. And since we've been locked in for 2 years and social abilities have been kind of changed, I think this aspect of trying to get people who are getting more comfortable with computers, the next layer of that, if I'm on the computer all the time, what kind of community I can build in romantically and trying to find people with similar interests. I think this actually fits a very big need in the market that's coming up that I don't think people know that it's a need for yet. So is this kind of your concept of when you came up with a Truyou, is to try to fill a need?
Well, it kind of came from seeing the basic need in the population. So I mean, the last 2 years, like you said, us been locked in. We've never really been as socially isolated from each other ever before, outside of the Great Depression. And so basically we're dealing with an environment where more than ever we're diversified in terms of our viewpoints, and through that we become incredibly separated. Especially in the US, we see Republican, Democrat, neck and neck. We have groups that are specifically built around being hateful towards other groups. There needs to be some sort of level of connection there where you can actually identify with the other human being as a human being. And so that's kind of where the main concept for Truyou kind of evolved, allowing for there to be that platform, so that outside of these incredibly radicalized applications that end up arising, like Truth Social, and I know there's a few others, but I know that's the main one. There needs to be a platform where everybody can really build that initial layer of connection, and I feel that incentivization would be a great underlying principle to kind of drive that initial adoption of Web3 based principles, which introduce that incentivization.
Okay. Now, I've been married for like 25 years, right? So I'm not been privy to many dating apps, but because I was doing this, I actually signed up for a couple of dating apps and I wanted to see what the what the things were. Being
Right.
an old head like me, I went to Zoosk and all this other stuff. I was immersed in a culture I've never been in. Tell me, how do you get your head wrapped around all these different? Did you model or get something for some of these dating services, the eHarmony, the the farmboy.com, all these different nuances? Uh, did any of this play a part in you kind of trying to put something of these into Truyou?
Yeah, yeah. So you'll notice that throughout the online dating market, through pretty much every single application, they'll look for their niche, and in most cases, it's some sort of racial aspect or some sort of career-based aspect. Or Tinder's kind of gotten into specifically for millennials the swiping and ease of use aspect, which is incredibly popular. Uh, but problems with specifically targeting a group is that you are automatically limiting your audience. And then we're basically targeting an incredibly limited area of what we could potentially reach, especially with users on Algorand. They see us launching on Algorand with blockchain based integrations. And they say, well, I mean, you're not going to get a whole lot of girls on Algorand. Well, yeah, naturally, I don't expect to get a lot of girls on Algorand because we're not targeting Algorand. We're using Algorand to underlie the crypto functionality so that we can facilitate these transactions. We can send a token from point A to point B in the easiest, most seamless way possible. That is the sole use of Algorand. And through that, we hope to introduce thousands, tens of thousands, or millions of accounts to Algorand to help build the ecosystem just passively. And then utilizing Algorand allows us to use our token ecosystem and then provide benefit to a user through our token being on an exchange that has an attributed value, so that a user can technically gain a value from using our platform.
So that sounds like a good idea. So when you was saying something like that, um, usually you have the token value, you got the trust token. Are you conceptually looking into trying to find another market where you can marry or partner or associate with another blockchain that may be more female centric in nature, to where you have a token incentive for them as far as trying to increase the female or the estrogen population, something to sway people to come your way, or just as far as the interest in the awareness of your platform. Is that something, Truyou, kind of a model that you're looking to do? Is kind to build a base and then partner with some of the other blockchains or other businesses that more support women, or of a target audience, so you can draw them in and kind of broaden your base?
Absolutely, 100%. Truyou, kind of as a company in itself, our main goal is to initially, obviously, we build out our MVP, test out the functionalities with our initial small base audience, grow the application to be as seamless and usable as possible by anybody, and then our main goal really would be to become integrated with as many social metaverse projects out there that we can possibly find, because that's an instantaneous audience that automatically knows this area, the cryptocurrency and blockchain. Outside of that, there are tons and tons and tons of female groups, specifically program specific, so developer specific. So again, another audience that very much understands this space and programming and blockchain. But really, our main audience goal is going to be pretty much the same exact directive as Tinder and Hinge went, which was pretty much to attack the millennial audience by going to college campuses, hosting events, trying to grab onto these populations by having them understand that not only do we provide seamless catfish-proof protection through our platform so that you're not necessarily worried about being tricked, but there is a monetary incentive here that's built into it that could potentially benefit you in your daily life. And then outside of that, even in 2023, we've already included in our roadmap the integration of the matchmaking feature, which is something that we feel kind of ties everything together, because it again kind of feeds into the female drive that we've seen for wanting to pair your friends together, because innately they have an incredible understanding of compatibility and kind of how all these emotional aspects kind of intertwine very well together. So matchmaking allows for kind of our female audience to see, well, I think this person would be a good match with this person, so they try and match them together, and if they both match, then there's an incentive-based reward for that, and it just kind of feeds into the system.
So there's a couple other questions that came to me besides that, because there's a couple of things socially for our generation, with well, not my generation, but the millennials, because identity has become more fluid in today's society. Meeting people, gender may not be, something that is as important to this generation as to previous. Is Truyou in a position to be able to handle such a fluid dynamic where people are incoming and they may be open to multiple things?
Most definitely. The way that we've built our system allows for a lot of customization. So you can choose your sexuality, you can identify your pronouns. It basically allows for all of the inline functionality that Tinder and Hinge and Bumble and some of the larger applications currently on the market have already addressed. But coming from a smaller application like us, we have a lot of room for development and growth given via user feedback.
Okay. Now, you did mention something that is a big thing with most of these things is catfishing and stuff like that.